It is the Riot on RadioU. This is our podcast.
As we get ready for, depending on when you're listening to this, you can either join us live tonight, or if it's after Thursday, you can enjoy it on our Facebook page still. But we're getting ready for our ugly Christmas sweater party tonight on Facebook, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, for an evening Facebook show with us.
So this is the pre-show, and tomorrow will be the post-show.
Well, technically, this is like the main thing, and just think of tonight as an extra Riot that you can watch instead of just being a podcast.
So in the show today, not tonight, today, we're going to talk about the donut index for wellness, the Christmas lights on cars, Zoom calls, Super Inframan, one last time. Well, no, probably talk about it again after, like, one more time.
So going back to the Christmas lights on cars, someone texted afterwards, and I think he's a police officer, because he said he wouldn't pull you over unless they were flashing, like they were blinking lights.
Okay.
But if you had red or white blinking, but if you had a solid strand of Christmas lights, then you should be fine.
Well, it depends on the state, though.
It depends on the state. But he was saying where we were at, I could put a solid line of Christmas lights on my car and probably be fine.
No solids, Nikki. Let's see. I was right about something. Apple Watches.
Mm-hmm.
Video chats with Santa.
Yeah.
Fishing Santas. Hold my baby.
Hold my Santa.
Taking your chainsaw to McDonald's.
Oh, yeah.
Wrapping paper.
Yes, there it is.
So that's mostly the show today.
It's everything, guys. It's everything in a podcast that you could possibly want to hear about today.
What more could you want?
And if you want something more, we can't give it to you.
This is all we have.
But maybe we'll give you more tonight during our Facebook event.
Okay, well, you guys have a wonderful...
whatever part of the day you're listening to this podcast at. And thank you so much for listening. And hopefully you can join us for our Facebook event, or just watch that anytime afterwards at RadioU Riot on our Facebook page.
All right. You guys have a great day.
Bye.
It's the worst of the Riot on RadioU.
You know what? I don't have an official name for it, but I think I may have just come up with one. And I think I'm going to call it the donut index.
And that being?
The donut index is how you can tell, like how things are going. If the donut index is at a 0, things are going well. Anything above a 0 indicates an increased activity or stress level.
Oh, so the more donuts you have, the more stressed you think you might be?
Yes. So today so far, I've had a box of Timbits and a pack of cigarettes.
Put that on the index level and tell me where it is.
I mean, other than it's fine.
That's not it.
It's not true. It's not even true with the Timbits, but I've definitely had some donuts this morning. And
well, remember, we have a hefty day.
I know. I even thought, I was like, man, you should be pacing yourself.
We really should, because we've got our ugly Christmas sweater party tonight that is on Facebook that you guys will join us for. But man, we got cake. We got all these food fight items. We've got a lot of stuff to eat. So don't use it all this morning.
I know. I thought, I was like, what are you doing? Because I stopped there to get a bagel because I thought, you know what? I can't face any food this morning. And then by the time I got up here, I was like, just what about a bagel? Would you eat a bagel? And I was like, yeah. And then I was like, and some Timbits.
Like that'll be light on your stomach.
Well, it's just bread.
True.
It's not fried. It's not whatever. It's just some bread.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought, that'll work out because I just haven't been feeling great this week. And so I got that. And, and I even thought, I was like, no, don't go in here and get donuts.
Oh, well,
should have known.
It looks a lot like a bagel.
I almost feel like my brain was tricking me. Like, we'll get a bagel. A bagel will get us over there.
So wait, did you get a bagel and some donuts, or did you just skip the bagel part?
No, I got both.
You got both.
I ate half a bagel and a couple of Timbits.
Nothing wrong with that.
It's nothing right with it.
Well, let's not get into that then. We all have faults in that area.
Oh, man. Well, you know what? The important thing is it's all for charity.
No, it's not.
It's not.
It's not. It's not at all. These are not acceptable answers if you're looking for that.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody.
We've got an archive of everything stupid the Riot has ever said at your fingertips. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh, Wisconsin State Patrol never has any fun.
Is that who we're saying never has any fun?
They never do.
What don't they get to do?
Well, it's not what they don't get to do. It's the way they're out there canceling other people's fun. Okay, so we got a social distance. We can't have parties, but we are allowed in our cars, and that's what got us. We don't have a name here, but we have a woman who drove what they're calling a muscle car.
Yeah.
I can't tell what it is. It looks like it might be a Mustang. It might be what's the other Ford that they make that's like, it's not a Chevelle. It's
a Camaro?
No, whatever. It's a car.
A Cobra?
I can't see it. I don't know what it is. But it's covered in Christmas lights.
Oh, really? Oh, come on. Don't say we can't do that. That's such a fun idea.
I know. It looks fantastic. It's so fun.
I bet that is probably not allowed.
It's not. It's not allowed. The trooper pulled them over, said, listen, I love your creativity, but this is illegal.
Oh, you're not allowed to?
So you have to take them off of your car.
Now, I've seen people like, I think we have a car in our area that's got like some baby doll things,
Yes,
so
I have seen it.
There's lots of different cars that choose alternate ways of painting and decorating, but is this because it's lights and it's confusing, then you can't see like the car lights?
You're probably not allowed. It's got to be some regulation about, not being able to tell the brake lights and or
I'm sure
looking like you're a police car, because you can't do that either.
Sure.
Man, I passed an accident last night. The police were running their lights and just driving past the accident. I was blind for a solid 30 seconds.
Because of all the lights. Yeah.
Man, those lights are bright.
Oh, but what a fun idea if you could do it. I mean, maybe you could go not as big and just do like the wreath on the front or some little lights.
All right. Or the Rudolph ears and antlers thing.
Little accent lighting, but otherwise you can't.
No, Nikki.
Aww.
Well, I mean, in fairness, it's illegal in Wisconsin. Perhaps you should check with your local and state authorities to see where you live.
There's some states that don't care about much. So.
See, truthfully, if you were going to ask me about a state that didn't care, I would feel like Wisconsin could fit in there, where they're just like, you know what, it snows so much we don't know what's going on.
Yeah, but I think they take it seriously because they can't get some really bad weather, so it's probably really, really bad this time of year.
It's a bigger deal.
Yeah, probably so.
All right.
Well, fun idea, though. If you could find a legal way to do it that wouldn't be dangerous, man, decorating your car with lights would be so cool.
It looks cool.
Now, I also don't like to draw attention to myself, so I won't be doing it. But
it'd be cool if you did.
It would be so cool if you did. I love when people do the Rudolph antlers in the nose and all that stuff. I love that.
Let me tell you what this is right here. This is the opening parts of a script for the Hallmark movie in which this is a woman driving this car that she loves Christmas and she's so excited about it. And it's a police officer that pulls her over who hates Christmas.
He's not happy about it.
Right. And then the police officer who's been single for a long time, his mom is fixing him up with somebody and he's begrudgingly going to the holiday party. And it turns out that he ends up on the date with the girl he pulled over for the holiday lights.
You're close, but I feel like it's a small Wisconsin town to where the sheriff, there's a bad snowstorm. And so she gets stuck because she's driving through. And she then has to go stay at the police station for the weekend. And he has to stay there, too, and they fall in love.
They just had someone like that with amnesia and...
Something like that, yeah. And then at the end, they end up decorating the police station like the car.
And the police car.
And the police car.
They have to grab the lights off of her car because the flashing lights aren't working, and they have to run out and save somebody.
And then he loves Christmas, too.
The only reason he didn't love it is because his ex-wife left him on Christmas.
This is RadioU's Worst of the Riot.
I'll tell you, with Christmas, we are now a week away from Christmas Eve.
Yes.
I did feel like I was in some kind of a Christmas special or something last night as I was just pondering the fact that I'm so caught up in the hustle and bustle that I feel like I'm really not enjoying the holiday.
Yeah.
And I'm not really grabbing onto the true meaning of it and all that stuff. And I felt like I needed a little animated character to come out and talk to me.
To talk you back into the Christmas spirit.
Right. I did. So, there are things that we can do as we deal with holiday stress. It's real, man. You could take 5 minutes to do some deep breathing, get some exercise, whatever. Exercise, come on. I opted for the breathing yesterday, which was nice.
So not the exercise, yeah.
It wasn't. But, something that I think that's worth throwing in is that while it is really great, there are all kinds of different kind of mental and exercises that you can do to help you. In the middle of my 5 minutes of meditative breathing, when that was over, I spent some time, I went a little farther, and I talked to God about what was going on. And what's amazing to me is that in taking some time to talk to Jesus about my circumstances, honest to goodness, I felt like God showed me some things where it was like, this is one of the things you're really nervous about. And I was like, I'm not nervous about, I'm so scared.
Aw. But you didn't realize that.
But I didn't. And it was okay. And here's what's really great is that in figuring that out, then I was able to ask God to help me with that. Like, hey, God, this thing is going on right now. Would you please get involved? Could you help me with this? Could you help me with that? I would have never gotten to that point if I hadn't on purpose stopped, taken some time, gotten calmed down, and started talking to God about what was going on. See, in a relationship with God, you can talk to him about anything. You want to talk to him about the ugly sweater Christmas party? Go for it. You want to talk to him about the Timbits? You want whatever. Do you want to talk to him about how concerned you are about blank, blank, and blank this Christmas? That too. See, God doesn't just listen, but God gets involved. Now, I'm not promising you the pony you've always wanted this Christmas. If that's where your nerves are coming from, I don't know. But I do know that you can ask God for help. And if you don't know him, you can start right now and just say, Jesus, Christmas is eating me alive, and I need some help. Come into my life. Fill me with your spirit. I want to know you, and I want to know what you're about. Show me how to live. And man, you know what? Man, just dump your stuff on God. Whatever it is that's bugging you this morning, right now, just let it all out. We're letting it all out.
The worst of the worst. Are you ready? The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
Here's some good news. If you are going to be separate from your family this Christmas, Zoom is opening up between now and New Year's unlimited calling. So meaning that if you can do like free Zoom right now, and I believe there's a 30-minute or 60-minute time limit.
Every time, though, I've had a Zoom that's had a time limit, they're always like, and it's been extended. I've never had one that has not, when you're doing it, lasted long enough without having to pay for it.
I have.
You have?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now, I know some people who pay for like the business whatever Zoom.
Sure.
And so if you Zoom with them, you got all day. Like, it doesn't end.
Just leave it on.
As long as they create the meeting.
Then it's fine.
But, for us civvies that don't have that big money backing us.
Man, you need that time limit, though, especially if you're going to do a lot of family Zoom. Like, just tell them it has to end.
Well,
just be like, oh, they're cutting us off now. We got to go. Or you just restart a new one.
Yeah, that's true. Now, but they're doing it. You can do that, and even with the same invite or whatever. But I thought it was cool. If you got plans that you can't see your family, but you'd like to connect with them, and in exchange for all of your personal information, Zoom is going to allow you.
Oh, the privilege of having a longer Zoom time.
They are the best.
The sweetest, aren't they?
They're
now
the best.
That's a holiday gift right there.
Come on.
They've already got our info. It's fine.
Yeah, I know. They long since own my life, but I thought it was a nice little thing to throw out there.
I mean, that's appreciated, I guess.
Yeah. So you've got. Now, wait a minute. Is it actually for the entire year? It looks like maybe they're. All right. I thought it was from now until January, but they're going to have. It's basically 4-day blocks that are like over weekends. So like, what's today? The 17th. So it's now through Sunday, and then next Wednesday through the following Sunday,
Gotcha.
and then the Wednesday after that. So basically, if you're going to work on Monday and Tuesday, you're paying.
But if you're home by Wednesday.
But on Wednesday, you're free.
Then it's open and you can use as much as you want.
That's so funny because that's exactly what that is.
Well, I'm glad. I mean, if it was anything else, they would have just said, oh, you can have it free for Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. But then come the big holiday days, you get nothing.
You got to pay.
So that was sweet of them, I guess, to offer it.
So, I didn't know that. I thought it was an hour limit. Zoom apparently has a 40-minute limit.
Mm-hmm.
Well.
But again, I've always been just extended.
Please don't hang up, Nikki.
It's like, no, here, you keep going. It's fine.
Please don't hang up.
But that's good. Anything to help. Hopefully you've already had that all set up. Nothing's the worst. Don't try to set this up on Christmas Day with your family.
Oh.
If they've never done a Zoom call or a hangout or FaceTime, like just don't do it on the actual holiday. You want to preset that up.
Can you do multiple people in a Facebook Messenger call?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, never tried, but I think we're going to try that on Christmas because I've got all my West Coast family that I'm going to try to connect with, and we thought, hey, what if we could connect at once instead of, waiting?
Good luck.
I'm sure I'll do great.
It'll all work out well.
We would give the Riot flowers to show our appreciation, but Obadiah's probably allergic. What isn't he allergic to? This is the Riot on RadioU.
Do not, when confronted with the opportunity, buy yourself any smart plugs so that you can just turn things on with your voice.
Why?
I'll tell you why. Because once you do, you can't fathom the laziness this will unlock in your life.
Even though I'm worried about, because we set up all of our Christmas stuff with it.
Yep.
I'm just worried, what are we going to do after Christmas? Like, what am I going to tell to turn on? I just don't have a lot of, lamps.
Plug-in stuff?
I just don't have a need at that point. But for Christmas, it's been amazing.
In my basement, I have 2 lamps, and I don't know why. I like lamps.
You like lighting.
I do. I like them. Yeah, and I don't mean aesthetically. I mean that I like the kind of lighting that comes from lamps versus an overhead light.
Sure.
I don't know why.
So you will use it.
Do. Yeah. So last night, I've got my Christmas tree not plugged into the automatic thing yet. Now, this is in the basement, of course, the main tree, obviously.
The part of the system, sure.
And I was like, I have to get up and plug it in. It's not even worth it. It's just too much work. Gonna have to walk over there.
That's really
then I gotta
exhausted.
then I gotta dig behind the tree.
Yeah, why don't you have it already on a plug?
Because I just don't have one.
You just don't have one? Okay.
Yeah, and so I was looking today. I was like, maybe I should buy one. And then I thought, maybe you should have to earn the lights a little bit, buddy.
No, not with your tree.
Maybe you should have to put a little work into getting those lights hung on the tree.
No,
to light up.
This isn't where you win the war. This
you
isn't
don't think
it.
so?
No, just have fun with it. Just get a party pack of them and set up anything.
Well, here's the deal, Nikki. Right now, I've got a Wemo. I've got some Philips Hue, and I could go with GoSund.
Yeah.
Or more Wemo.
Well, are they the same price or?
No, the GoSund are cheaper.
They're cheaper?
They're probably the same.
Let's go with cheaper. Go with that.
Ding.
Sounds good to me.
Ding. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, that way, because, like I said, I just don't know if I want to get up.
No one, you shouldn't. You're still recovering. You're still getting your energy back. Like, it's just too much. And you want to enjoy the holiday decorations without actually having to turn them on.
It's a good call, Nikki.
Yeah, no, we don't want to worry about that.
I appreciate that. Thanks for being supportive.
Your health is most important.
It's very important.
People win awards for being the best at things. Are there awards for the worst? Because we have a contender. Worst of the Riot podcast.
So was it last week, I believe, came in here very excited about something I had discovered, something I'd never seen before, the Super Inframan. And many of you then went and tried to watch it.
It's a movie from the, was it 70s?
The 1975 Shaw Brothers Hong Kong film. Mm-hmm.
And it's called what?
Super Inframan.
Super Inframan.
It's so great.
But he says that. I just am afraid you would go then expecting it to actually be great, and it's really a matter of opinion.
It's not going to be great like you would think it's great.
I don't think so.
It's great like I think it's great.
Yes, you enjoyed it, but it was on Amazon, I thought.
It was, and man, guys.
Oh my gosh, did you make it popular again? And so they decided to put it behind a paywall.
I think the fact that 3 of us went there to watch it, they were like, oh my gosh, we're getting some movement on Inframan.
We've got to start charging for this thing again.
And so it is, even I, with that one subscription I have, no longer free.
That's so funny.
It is. And so it looks like I'm going to have to buy it.
How much is it?
Well, Nikki, this may shock you, but I can't seem to find a release of it here in the United States.
Oh, they don't have it on Amazon just to Oh, you want to buy a physical copy?
Well, I opened up the possibilities.
Yeah.
And so it looks like I can buy it on iTunes, of all places. They have it.
Yeah.
So that's what's going to happen. I'm going to have to buy it. It's $6.
It's fine.
Worth
it's the
it
holidays.
to me.
you,
Worth it to me.
Does that mean you're going back to watch this movie more often?
Well, I didn't get to finish it. And I went to finish it, and I couldn't.
That's when it wasn't on Amazon anymore.
You know what? It was all a scheme. They were teasing me.
They got you in.
They got me.
Well, it's fine. I'm sure you would enjoy it.
Oh, no, I will.
You have enjoyed it.
I will. I don't have the slightest doubt about that.
All right. So Amazon took it off in case you're like, oh, I must, if you're a podcast listener and you're catching this later and you were always meaning to go check it out, you'd have to pay for it.
So, well, you know what? I just want everybody to know what I now know.
So say you were going into it for the very first time as a new watcher and you had to pay $6 or $7 for it.
Yes.
Do you think it's worth that if this person really enjoys this style of movie?
Are you like me? Yes.
If they're like you, yes.
If you are not like me, like when you hear me talk about things and you're like, that.
Why?
Oh my gosh. Can you just get on to the food stuff?
Then you might not want to pay for the movie.
Then this is not, I can't emphasize enough
that it's not
how
for
much
them.
this movie is not for you. But for me, whoa,
paying, he's going to go ahead and get it.
Yeah.
So Super Inframan.
Super Inframan.
Great.
Wow, that's so awesome.
Good.
You're listening to The Riot. Let's all work together today to live life with the patience of a Nikki dealing with an Obadiah.
Gotta hang in there and get through it.
You're listening to The Riot.
I have to throw something out. It was around this time yesterday where we were talking about how The Office was leaving all the other streaming services and it would only be on Peacock.
Yeah.
And I was like, you could buy the whole show for $30 if you just keep your eyes open.
Because the sale would have, same thing they did with Friends. Like they're going to sell off the seasons because, it's moving and they know they can get you to try to buy something.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just want you to know right now on Vudu for $29.99, The Office, all of it.
All of it?
So that would be, instead of having to subscribe to yet another streaming service, you could just buy the whole show.
That's a good idea.
I'm not saying that's what you should do.
You know what?
But I was right about something yesterday, and it happens so infrequently.
You wanted to point it out?
I want to highlight it while there's still an opportunity.
Now, I do want to make you aware that so far this morning, you're letting us know about a few things that could be costing people some money this morning. If they're buying that Hong Kong kung fu movie,
You're right.
Then you've got this, you've got the whole season of The Office. Like, what else are we going to talk about this morning?
You know, I'll tell you what I need to do. I need to freaking quit this, just talking about movies and streaming crap. Let's transition over to something else.
No, because we still have movie theater
I know we still
stuff.
have a movie thing. I get it. You know
But
what?
that really won't cost any money. And if it happens, it might actually be less money then for you.
You know what? I've been pretty tired. What happens when I get tired on the show is that I just don't branch out enough. It's a problem. Okay.
Well, you're looking at deals, so you noticed one, and
So
that's good.
You know what? It's not about The Office. It's about being right about something. I was right about something.
You were. You said it would go on sale soon. You could buy the whole thing, and you absolutely were right.
I did it, guys. I did it.
There are some people that shouldn't have their own podcast. And by some people, we mean these people. Radio U's Worst of the Riot podcast.
So if you didn't hear the news, a week, 2 weeks ago, Warner Brothers, film studio, kind of rocked that world by saying that they were going to, starting with Wonder Woman this Christmas, they're doing a simultaneous release of their films. So you go to the movies, you can see them in a theater, or you can watch them on HBO Max.
So for HBO Max, you would get 1 month that you could watch it, and then it would just stay in theaters its normal amount of time.
Right.
Well, everybody was kind of excited with this news, and it's like, hey, that's awesome. You could watch all of Warner Brothers movies this way, in 21. Well, then after you started hearing the studios that are actually making the movies, with Warner Brothers.
Right.
They didn't seem to be consulted in this, or they were just told when it seemed like everybody else was told. So you had a lot of the actual movies and the production companies behind it really mad at Warner Brothers for saying and doing this setup.
Yeah, I mean, if you've never seen it before, or, I mean, maybe you haven't paid attention. Like, if you sit down and watch a movie, you'll see like a studio name on it, but then a lot of times you'll see a production company name that follows that. Mm-hmm. So, you would see Warner Brothers Syncope or Warner Brothers Legendary Films or, something like that. And Legendary was the one that's really mad about it.
Is that the one doing Dune? Because
yes.
that's the one that they were super mad about it. Very mad.
Yeah.
And Dune's not until next fall, but they were early mad.
We were supposed to be watching that already. I found Dune merchandise all over the place.
Did you? Because it's supposed to be out now.
Yep. So, that being said, AMC and Cinemark have just been like, all right, okay.
Well, they were mad because this would limit the impact of people going to the theaters where that was the only place you could watch the movie in the beginning.
Really, it's the only place they can charge you a lot of money for popcorn. That's how it works.
Concessions is where they make the money.
I mean, movie theaters are really just big concession stands, and they happen to have a movie showing down the hall.
It's big popcorn. So.
Big popcorn paid for all of this.
Big popcorn, big soda, all that together.
So they're mad, and so they say, okay, it's fine. They say what they're going to do for Warner Brothers movies over the course of the next year is that they'll be charging between $3 to $5 for a ticket to go see these Warner Brothers movies.
And you're like, wow, only $3 to $5? That's a lot less than you would normally pay to see a movie.
Unless you go on $5 Tuesday, but that's a different story.
They want to bring the ticket price so low so that Warner Brothers would get so little money from their movie in theaters. They wouldn't make the money that they'd be anticipating.
Right. And so your move, Warner.
They're talking like this is the threat that's going out there. So theaters would keep between 75 to 80% of the revenue. The rest goes back to Warner Brothers. It'd be a lot less. And we're right. With theaters, they make a lot of money from you coming in, not watching the movie, but they make a lot of money from you coming in and eating stuff there.
Right. The other side of it is if a movie's very successful, the longer a movie is in theaters, the more money the movie theater makes from the movie.
Yeah.
So they have this deal where like on opening weekend, they get almost no money for it. But then the weekend after, they get 10%.
They get more.
And the weekend
more
after
and
that,
more.
they get 15. And like that's how that kind of works.
So they were just mad that Warner Brothers would do them like that. Why would they treat him that way?
I get it. You know what? Between this and I saw, was it George Clooney was out there yesterday like, hey, we need government subsidies for the movie industry. And on the one hand, I totally get it. And then there's this other side of, I feel like as someone that is a lover of movies and I pay a lot for movies, sometimes I feel like they're just constantly flaunting the amount of money they make. It's also self-important. And now they're like, hey, guys.
Well, it's similar to the airline industry. They took us for so much money for so many years that you're like, how do you not have more saved up or a plan? Like, how can you not? How would this affect you so fast?
Did you guys have a rainy day fund or
something like that where, because again, you guys, you charge a lot, an awful lot of money.
Are people really still listening to the Riot? You don't have work to do or laundry to fold or literally anything else to do? The Riot, Radio U.
I've been starting to think about it. I'm not saying I'm doing it. I'm not saying that. Mm-hmm. Nobody's saying that.
But we're starting the conversation about it?
We're starting the conversation about an Apple Watch.
Yeah. Oh, you are? You're thinking about it?
I have been thinking about it.
Yeah.
So, Nikki, you have an Apple Watch. In fact, you've had many watches.
I've only had two. I think. Yeah, I've only had two.
I don't know.
Sometimes I confuse. I own a lot of Apple products. I will admit that, and sometimes I forget. But no, I've had two. This is the second one, and absolutely. I think you would enjoy it, though. I'd be willing to let you borrow it for a day or two to actually decide.
See, what do you like? Sell it to me. Why would I want an Apple Watch? What can it do for me?
It can. It's going to be hard to explain unless you actually wear it.
Okay, but
to
just
see.
Try me.
Well, first, you're wearing it. It's just nice to have.
It feels nice to have.
Yeah, it feels nice to have. I would say that, it means you won't have to have your phone with you, but then you would say you still have your phone with you. But like you don't have to be checking it for the reminders. So I feel like it is helpful because I set a lot of reminders for myself during the day.
Okay.
And so I'm not having to go to my phone. I can just see, what's that current moment in case I need to stop what I'm doing and go do something.
Is Siri on the watch?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And you can, it has space for if you want your own music or if you want to do something locally on it. So that way, if you want to go and you're away from your phone, like do a run or something,
right?
You still have the chance to do that.
That's something I was thinking about, is the idea of it would be a nice GPS watch, and I wouldn't necessarily have to buy. If you buy the Series 6, it's $400.
You can buy the cheaper ones.
Yeah, like the Series 3 and 4 are like $200. They're nowhere near as expensive.
Yeah, and I was never a watch person before an Apple Watch, but with smartwatches, it's different. It doesn't, I don't know, it's just hard to explain. You got to spend some time with it to see if it ends up being a help to you.
If it's for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk to your friends and see if the GPS Apple Watch is for you.
Is it what you need? But like I said, you could just log into it and just use it for a few days to decide if you like it.
There's well, look at that. There's what do you call it? An SE version. That one's $300. So
you could probably get a nice one too if someone was just selling one.
You know what, though? Like, this would probably, I don't know, but this looks like this would probably be enough. Like, I could get the Nike version so I can have the swoosh on it.
Nice.
Isn't that what we all want, is the swoosh?
Well, I think the status is just the Apple Watch alone.
I know, but like, how do you know that yours is better than everyone else's?
Now you have two symbols on it.
I get the 5 with a swoosh?
Yeah. You're living at that point.
Holy crap. Look at that.
So I would say that I think you would like it, but I can't tell you that. You'll just have to decide.
I just know multiple friends that have them.
Yeah.
And I just keep watching them use it. And I'm like, maybe. And again, the idea of using it as a fitness tracker sounds kind of nice.
Yes.
Of course, now it would just be like, you're doing nothing. Let's compare it to yesterday. You're still doing nothing.
You can turn off those reminders because some of them are hurtful. When it can remind you like, hey, you haven't gotten up this hour, that sort of thing. Those you don't need to hear right now.
Now's not a good time, okay, Watch?
But Apple did come out with their workout thing, their new one, the monthly subscription one. So that ties in nicely with the watch, too.
This person's review says, didn't need the sleep or the heart thingy. So it was good for me.
So it's perfect.
Right. Yeah, I don't think I want sleep tracking. The last thing I need is something telling me I'm not sleeping well.
Well, your phone will do that, too.
know.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So, Nikki, over the weekend in North Carolina, Ugly Stick, STIK, held a bass fishing tournament in North Carolina. And it was there to raise money for Toys for Tots.
Oh, that's nice.
They raised about $15,000. And
that's pretty good.
They set a world record for the most fishing Santa Clauses.
Oh, so if you were in the fishing tournament, you could dress up like Santa?
Dress up like Santa.
That's cute.
Help set a world record.
And raise some money.
And that's what they did.
Very nice.
So they raised $15,000 for Toys for Tots. And everybody's dressed like Santa out on the lake. It's an odd thing. Actually,
it's a really odd thing if you were just like, I'll just go fishing for a little bit today, and you had no idea what was going on.
That's a scene, like, I don't know anything about all this. I've got a friend of mine who goes to fishing tournaments.
Yeah.
And I haven't really peeked in on it much, but almost all the gear he has for fishing, he has won it or purchased it with winnings.
Oh, at a tournament and
yes.
stuff? Oh.
So he doesn't win like big money, but it's kept him in gear.
It keeps the habit or the love for the fishing tournament alive.
It totally does. And so he's like, how come you always have all this money for video games? And I'm like, how come I don't have any fishing poles?
I know. You need to get into some video game tournaments.
No, don't want to. Not good enough.
I was at a park one morning and they were having a tournament going on, and it's this whole... It's a scene. And we're never been in on it, but it looked a lot of fun.
Hey, it's always fascinating when you get plugged into a scene like that. So like when I was running 5Ks, that's a scene.
That was it.
It's the same people going to the same things. You see them all over the place. These fishing tournaments, it's got to be the same thing. It's the same people out on the boats, using the lake as a bathroom.
Well, does that happen a lot? I bet it does.
They're boat
Where else
people,
would they
Nikki.
go? They're just out.
My experience with the boat people is they're very free.
They have no problem. The water is the toilet. But in this case, everybody was dressed as Santa, so that'd be worse if you saw that. Because they were all wearing costumes, raising money for Toys for Tots.
It's true. So, you know what? Good on them. And the next time you have a fishing tournament, invite Nikki. She's interested in seeing how it turns out.
Actually, I wouldn't mind maybe not going out on the water. It depends on how long. Like, can you drop me back off after 30 minutes or so? I think that's as long as I could last.
Just need to be out there for a couple minutes.
I just want to experience it and then go back and I'll cheer from the side.
You know what? Just watch a YouTube video.
It'll be fine.
The Riot is well-versed on many different topics.
They're shy at first, but they're quite skilled at conversation.
This is The Riot on Radio U.
Ways to make extra money. Dress up as Santa, win a fishing tournament.
Actually, what you need to do is be the person selling the Santa costumes at this time of year, and I bet you that's how you're going to make even more money.
Nikki just blew my mind. She just took a step up the supply chain.
That's right. That's where you need to be.
That's where the real money is.
Exactly. Because if they're having we were just talking how they were doing a fishing tournament, that was 300 Santa costumes right there. That means you need to be a seller on Amazon.
Nikki, I'm glad we're in this together. Come on.
We can figure out how to make extra money.
Okay, now, that's one way. But if you already have a Santa costume and Nikki's not selling it to you, there might be another way that you could really cash in this Christmas. How about a video chat with Santa?
Oh, that's a good idea. Like a cameo, you mean?
Well, no, it's way more elaborate than that. Santa the Experience. It's a magical elf-guided journey from the comfort of your own home to the North Pole. You log in, Pickles the elf greets you, and starts you on your journey around Santa's home. You'll help wake up Dimples so she can feed the reindeer. Their elf Basil will bring you to the mailroom, and then we check in on Dasher and Prancer. Tinsel the elf takes us to the toy room. Mrs. Claus shows up, and then
you meet Santa?
The big guy.
Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm.
So the Santa Experience, is it just on Zoom, then it looks like?
Yeah, it's a
Zoom thing.
It's a Zoom thing.
How much does it cost then?
Okay. Nikki, first off,
can you put a price on Santa? I know you're going to ask that.
I don't like where you immediately went into cost.
Things are different this Christmas. You know, maybe you couldn't see Santa otherwise.
Couldn't go to the mall or whatever. So, the cost ranges somewhere from $30 to $80.
$80?
Yeah,
for
but
this?
You're going to the North Pole.
No, you're not. You're not going to the North Pole at all.
You're getting the experience
of going.
Not. Yes, you are.
No, you're
yes,
not. $80? Who's charging this?
Nikki, if you can go to school from home, you can go to the North Pole from home.
Listen,
okay?
It only lasts 10 to 12 minutes. No, thank you. No. Oh, the closer you get to Christmas, the more expensive it is. So the lower price was from back when it launched.
Man, it's like airfare. You got to book early.
I know. I'll take it after Christmas. How cheap does it get then? That's
Santa,
funny.
It's just video of Santa sleeping in a chair.
Yeah.
Wake up, Santa.
Now, I don't expect everything to be free all the time. That's not what this statement is. But in these times that we're in, normally this feels like it would be brought to you by like the Postal Service or some sort of leg of some company that's doing nice things for this Christmas. It feels like this should be a free Santa experience, not necessarily an $80 one.
Nikki, we're going to customize it to your child. Santa's going to talk to you.
Oh, I think it's the same experience no matter who you are.
Most of it is.
Yeah, except they'll put your name that you typed in at the beginning. So
yeah,
that's customized. $80? No, thank you.
You get a discount if your name's Tim or Matt.
Save money.
John.
All right. Well, then that's an option through Zoom if you're interested. Oh, and then during a live chat, Santa will let you know if you made the naughty or the nice list.
Okay. But
you get a recording of it so you can post it on your social media.
All right, Nikki, I got this for you, though. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Because they have become like the ultra expensive Santa experience, we could open Santa the Experience 2.
It's just lower.
It is. You don't get a tour, but it's only $10. And you get, what do you say? For $10, you get 5 minutes with the big guy.
Sounds good to me.
He logs in, he talks to your kid, tells him, hey, you've been good. Yeah, take some stuff.
Ho-ho-hos and Merry Christmases, and then you're on your way.
And if the parents try to stiff you on the money, you're like, yes, your parents told me they had a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox that will both be under the tree for you this year.
Oh, I don't know if they'd appreciate that.
Santa can't get it for you, but Mom and Dad said they have it covered.
They promise they do no matter what it takes.
Ho-ho-ho! Don't stiff Santa on Venmo next year.
I think it might be too late for us to set up our version of this.
All right.
And I don't know if you would play, like, who has to play Santa?
Not me, probably you.
I don't want to be Santa.
Too bad.
Too bad. Then I'd start asking for more money. No.
Then I want $80 a piece.
Then I do want $80. So now
right up here.
It feels like the Zoom thing's like an acting gig, for all the elves and stuff. It just feels like that.
The next superstar 10 years from now is like, yeah, my first big break was in Santa the Experience.
Yeah, Santa the Experience. I was the elf that got to go feed the reindeer.
Dane says for $80, you make the nice list.
Yeah, if you're willing to pay that much money.
Makes sense to me.
It does. Again, it still feels like something that should be free somewhere, but oh well.
Nikki, do you want to talk to Santa? You got to pay.
Not paying.
The Riot really wanted to do this live, but now they can play video games and eat rice cakes instead. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
So COVID-19, I don't know if you guys have heard, it's on the rise. I actually saw somebody, I was reading an article about how we really should, not us specifically, but radio people, pare back on the COVID talk. People are sick of it. They don't want to hear about it. So
the article was about that?
That was one of the ones I read. This, on the other hand, though, says, and this was comforting to me, it might not be to you, but they say 1 in 10 COVID sufferers suffer from long COVID, meaning that you continue to have symptoms way past the 2 weeks.
So, Obi, you were the first person I knew that had long COVID because Obi's time for quarantine and just symptoms was a lot longer than a lot of others who seem to not breeze through it, but have limited effects from it.
Yeah. Well, here we go, Nikki. Here's some long, because I think I'm still dealing with COVID fatigue. My fatigue level is absurd.
It's just it's not back to where, we're all tired to begin with.
That's always the thing.
But this is a whole different level of tired.
It really is. So they say the symptoms of long COVID are fatigue, cough, headache. I still have a little bit of a cough from time to time, but fatigue and headache, man, I will just get headaches. And it makes me unhappy.
Oh, is that the nice way of putting it?
Yes, Nikki.
Oh, and there's nothing you can do about it, though.
You can't. They say long COVID, they're seeing the average of that goes about 3 months.
So long COVID then isn't necessarily like, you quarantine and you had those symptoms so harshly during more than like the 14 days.
Yes.
This is the effects that last
long-term.
After you're done with quarantine, but you're still feeling the effects of it.
Yes. So I ended up isolating for 4.5 weeks. And they said basically once your fever's gone and you can go fever free without any medication that lowers fever.
Yeah, which you're not supposed to take, because then if you still have one, it still counts.
Right. For 48 hours, you can kind of return to life, which is that's how I got to come back.
Yay.
Yay.
Oh, goodness.
But this is, as Nikki was saying, like, hey, long-term effects. So they're saying for some people 3 months. So that's 12 weeks. Fatigue, cough, headache, loss of taste and smell. I will tell you, one of my roommates, the other one that like for sure had COVID, can't taste or smell almost at all still.
Still now? Wow.
Yep. It's still a thing. Let's see. Sore throat, myalgia. I think that just means achy muscles,
yes,
right?
It does.
Okay. Sore throat, fever, shortness of breath, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea.
So basically
pain.
all the things you can face when you have COVID, there's a chance it'll last a lot longer and you might not be able to get rid of it for a while.
But the symptoms you're most likely to face if you are a long COVID person, which they're saying are about 1 in 10 people, fatigue, cough, and headache. And I can report the truth of those statements.
He's one of the 10. He absolutely has long COVID then.
I was supposed to do a Christmas thing last night. I called and canceled. I was in bed before 8 o'clock.
You're just too exhausted.
It was just I can't.
Take a nap today before our Christmas sweater party. You need to make sure you can rest up.
it is what it is.
In case you're wondering, yes, we do get complaints.
They have gone too far. This time, they are going to be held accountable.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Okay, Nikki, you never come over and visit, and that's on you.
You mean I don't come to your house and visit?
No, you never come hang out.
Even though we spend so much time together at this house, as in Radio U.
How many times have I invited you over to watch a movie or different things, and you're like, well, I'll get back to you?
First, you only invite me during this show, like, as in it's a movie that you were talking about that you know I don't want to watch.
That's not true.
That is true. You're like, how can you not have seen that movie yet? You got to come over and watch it. It's not a movie that you think I would actually enjoy.
What, are we going to watch Keanu in the lake house or whatever?
Did you see the trailer I sent you yesterday? Did you watch it?
I don't think so.
It's this new movie coming out, and it's like, it's John Wick. It's from the guys from John Wick, but it's an older guy, but I can't tell if he's actually older than Keanu. And it's like him in his suburban house, and it's the same setup.
Oh, really?
It's so weird to watch.
Well, that feels about right.
It's called Nobody.
Oh, yeah.
Did you watch that?
No, okay, yes, okay.
It was just like, wow, this is like John Wick, but you take away some of the mysterious hotel stuff.
But it's like the Better Call Saul guy.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay. But anyways, movies, yes.
Oh, yeah. I was just wondering because, like, you know, I'm downstairs in my basement. I'm lonely a lot with the quarantine and stuff. And so, I mean, how would you feel about me getting my own Care Bear?
Your own Care Bear?
Like, would it be weird to you if you came to visit and you saw Grumpy Bear sitting on the couch?
Not if it was Grumpy Bear.
Okay. Any other bear?
Is there a Grumpy Bear for Care Bears?
Totally is. I'm looking at him right now. He's on sale for $6. And I was like, you know, I feel like having him sitting downstairs in a chair when I come downstairs would be like, yeah, what's up?
You don't need to put him downstairs. That thing could be right at the front door.
I mean, it would be, you know, like where I watch movies and stuff.
I see.
Grumpy Bear's just down there giving him a Care Bear stare.
I think that's a realistic bear, and I think it's wrong for us to call it grumpy like it's a negative thing. It's just showing those emotions.
You know what, Nikki? I wondered. I was like, you know, it's pretty negative. I don't think we're allowed to be negative in 2020.
No, it's more like the meh bear.
So it's a Grumpy Bear, and his emblem is a rain cloud.
Yeah.
But it's raining hearts. And that's to show that even when we're grumpy,
we can still love.
We're still loved.
Wow. That's a life lesson there.
I know. So, you know what? It's fine. I won't get it.
Do you want that? I mean,
you're not coming. You know what? You're not coming over anyway. It doesn't matter.
Now, here's the grumpy.
See?
You don't need the bear. Here it is.
You ready? Whatever.
It doesn't matter, right?
Doesn't matter anyway.
Pick a movie. What would be the movie I'd have to watch?
Star Trek 2.
I'm not watching that. Come on. Is that the movie?
Yeah,
I'm not watching
right.
that.
What if Eric comes?
No, I don't want to watch that.
No. Remember when you come to my house and Eric comes to watch Star Trek
and
you just want to be with him?
That was because we were dating.
Don't you still want to be with him?
I don't want to
you
watch
married
Star
him
Trek.
And now you're like, of course I don't want to be with him. I married him.
I don't mind that, but I don't have to do that to watch Star Trek. I don't have to do that. So you'd have to pick something else.
All right. Fine. Planet of the Apes.
Oh, my God. That sounds awful. No offense if it's a good movie, but I know there's a lot of those, and I don't want to watch any of them.
You sure?
Nope. Keep going. We'll never find a movie that we'll agree on.
Bill and Ted's...
the
the
third
last
one?
Yeah.
I didn't watch that. Did you?
Yeah.
Maybe. Can I just log in with your thing and just watch it? Did you buy it or rent it?
You might be thinking that this won't be quite as bad the second time around. Well, you'd be greatly mistaken. You're listening to the worst of the Riot podcast.
As we get closer to the big day, desperation is starting to, show its face.
With getting all the Christmas stuff in?
Various retailers.
Yeah.
I've got video here from Doral, Florida, of a woman who was like, here, hold my baby, and then got in a big fight with police officers.
Oh, is that the Walmart fight for the PlayStation?
For the PlayStation 5.
She really was like, here, hold this baby. She's just swinging around.
First, she doesn't. She's like fighting with the
baby.
Baby in one hand, fighting the cops in the other.
You're watching, you're like, what are you doing? But they really wanted the PlayStation.
Hey, you know what? And I get that. Like, I understand.
No, I don't get all of it. I don't understand all of it. But yeah, then the cops came and that's when they started arresting people.
Well, what they should have done is just been like, I'll trade you this baby for a PlayStation, which is not a good trade, by the way.
Technically, the cops will still come if you're trying to do that, and arrests will still be made.
All right.
So that's not how you're getting your PlayStation.
There's she's fighting
another customer.
Well, she's fighting, and this is something they do, but she's fighting like a female police officer.
Mm-hmm. Like the Walmart security too.
No,
police were there by then.
She looks like police. Yep. And she's arrested my heart. She's beautiful. This police officer.
The police lady is.
What's she doing?
What's her routine? What is all
how
are you doing that?
I mean, how do you maintain that level of professionalism, but also, that hair?
In such a stressful job situation, how are you doing that?
Who fights with their baby? They're not fighting. You're not fighting for your life. You're not trying to keep people safe.
Well,
you are fighting over a PlayStation 5. It all started because they're in line to get a PlayStation.
Yeah.
They open the store up and they come out and they're like, hey, and I think the line was actually inside the store. And they're like, we only have 5 PlayStation 5s. And that's when it was her brother or her cousin got salty, and he was being asked to leave. And then she was like, nuh-uh.
So then the fight breaks out while she's holding the baby.
Yeah. I don't know, Nikki. I don't know what's going on.
Listen, you got to know ahead of time that if you're in a long line, the chances of you getting one are just going to be really small.
I'm going to tell you how to get one. Are you ready? Give up.
Get one, but later. We're talking
Just
look
get
next
it later.
year.
Just get it later. I'm
You're not
telling
going
you.
to have it now.
I know that is not very nice because I have one. I get that. I got one. I was told the other day that I'm the reason that a child will be sad on Christmas. Because I have a PlayStation 5 and there's going to be a kid somewhere that wants one that's not going to get one.
Oh my gosh. The fact that someone would say that is just like, are you trying to make me feel bad enough to then give you mine? Like, what's the point?
Someone else's response was they couldn't appreciate it like I can anyway.
Right back. There it is.
Oh my gosh.
It's better the PlayStation went home to be with you. So.
Well, it's better me than some stupid reseller.
Well, it's not like the PlayStation go to these people. These people are not very nice.
You're on the naughty list. You're punching a cop.
You're not getting it. It's not going to be something you get.
Come on.
I also just feel so bad for any of these fighting videos. It's the people that are in the line around them. It's so sad because not only are you not getting it, but there's all this drama around you and you're caught up in this fight and you just wanted a PlayStation 2, but you kept your emotions in control. I feel so bad for that. Oh my gosh.
Oh man. I'm sorry, everybody. I mean it when I say this. I wish you all the best of luck. But do me a favor. If it's not working out, let's not get to punching the cops.
With the baby.
With the baby.
Don't forget about that.
I mean, sure, we're all familiar with here, hold my beer, but here, hold my baby.
Doesn't work.
The Riot RadioU.
So you're afraid of needles. You've got trypanophobia, which, again, it sounds like you
don't want to go on trips, but I guess you don't want to trip into a needle. So.
You don't. So, Nikki, right here, I have an article by Dr. Michael D. McGee.
Yeah.
He is the chief medical officer at The Haven in Pismo. And here's what he says. 4 things that people can do to overcome their fear of needles. You ready?
Yeah, what's one?
Number 1, practice deep breathing. And as you're breathing deeply, visualize yourself in a calm place.
I wonder if they say if you're afraid of needles, is it better to look or not look? Because when you're deep breathing, like you're supposed to cover your eyes, or do you need to see the needle? Like, does it help while you're breathing? I'm not
Nikki,
sure.
I have 3 tips left.
Oh, maybe that gets covered.
Tip number 2. 1 is practice deep breathing. 2 is think about why you're doing it. So if, you've got a reason, you need the medication, you need this, you need that. If you try to remind yourself why you're doing it and then think about what could happen if you don't, then this temporary discomfort, like you might be able to balance it out in your head.
The good outweighs the bad of the momentarily moment of pain.
So distract yourself. Either imagine you are somewhere else or find a spot on the wall.
Can I just watch a show or something while they give you the needle? Like watch something on YouTube.
Okay, that's 3 things. And here's the 4th thing to do to overcome your fear of needles. Don't look.
Don't look at it.
Yep. If the sight of the needle going in makes you uncomfortable, look away. Many people deal with shots this way.
Yeah. That's a good example.
So there you go. That's something.
If you have a fear, like for me, I'm not so much uncomfortable with needles, but then I started getting acupuncture a lot, which is not a needle, but I mean, they are little ones.
Yeah.
And when you get a few sessions of that in, you're not afraid anymore. It's no big deal.
After a while.
Yeah, or you get a lot of piercings. You're like, it's fine.
For me, shots don't bother me at all. I don't care. What does bother me is getting my blood drawn because they always have such a hard time finding a vein. And that's something where...
deep breathing will not help that because it's on them.
Right.
Like if they can manage to do it the right way.
But it is one of those things where like it's become more common for me to have to get blood drawn because of some medication and stuff. And so it happens, I don't know, probably just a few times a year. It's not like every month. And I just kind of, the first time I went, I thought about Nikki's mom. And because I know she
has a lot of stuff done.
She does.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, if she can do it, you can do it, you big baby.
And that's the voice you need in your head, okay?
Yeah.
Call yourself a big baby. Just get in there and get it done.
And then after a while, like there is kind of a thing that after if you've had to do it enough,
it's not as bad.
It stops. I mean, it's not like the pain level's lower. It just doesn't bother you as much.
Sure.
But man, first time they come at you with something, they're like, we're here to inflict pain.
It's like, I'm sorry.
Like, man, I got a whole system in my body designed to keep you away from me right now.
Now, did they say, are you able to because now you can't exactly have a room full of people there helping you, but can you have someone hold your hand or something?
That's not on the list, but
maybe that'll be helpful if you're allowed to have someone in with you.
Yeah, maybe.
Which they're probably going to say no, but that'll make you even more anxious.
Honestly, at this point, probably not.
So you were banking on someone else coming in and you're going to be by yourself.
Like I think short of you being under the age of 5, I think you pretty much have to go to the doctor on your own now.
No, you go in, you're like, I still want my mom to come in.
They're just like, yeah, too bad.
You have to do this yourself.
Worst of the Riot podcast.
Listen, I get it. You know, I get how frustrating things can be this time of year. You got a lot on your heart. You got a lot on your mind.
You do. It's a difficult time.
Yeah. And you go into McDonald's and
hey, okay. Nothing can be that difficult or that on your mind to make it okay to do what this guy did.
What do you say?
It's nothing can be that stressful. This is not a response back.
Nikki, how can we build understanding in our society if you're going to throw up walls like that? Immediately throwing up walls.
I didn't throw these walls
people.
up. No, this wall has been up for a very long time. This is not me saying we shouldn't do this. I thought we all decided we shouldn't do something like this.
Miss Nicole, tear down this wall.
Don't say that.
Tear down this wall.
You're not supposed to use this item when you're going into McDonald's. It's not something you're supposed to do. And he thought he should.
It's
a girl. It was she was a person? Oh,
Alice.
I assumed it was a guy. That's wrong of me.
Alice was detained by police officers after it was about 3:30 in the afternoon, which, a lot of us get a big blood sugar drop at that time of the afternoon. I'll just tell you right now.
We actually do see a lot of crime around that time, so there could be something to this. It was in Portland, and it was on Monday.
Yeah, so she goes in with a chainsaw. And
that's the thing I didn't think we were supposed to be doing.
Starts the chainsaw, goes back, starts chasing workers around, and stands behind the counter and revs it a bunch.
Now, they say he. So Alice could be still a woman, or it might just be that's his name.
Wait, on the arrest sheet, is there a place for preferred pronouns?
No, it's a guy. Alice is a guy.
Okay. I guess.
26 years old, detained by police afterwards because they were saying multiple calls came into police reporting that he had started chasing people inside and outside the McDonald's with a chainsaw.
I wonder, somebody comes running at you with a chainsaw.
What do you do?
And this person, I'll be honest, doesn't look all that strong.
Sure.
So, do you take it upon yourself when they're like going at somebody else? Do you go tackle them to get the chainsaw?
Or
do
is you just trying to run away?
You just run away.
I don't know.
Well, they probably don't have any chairs. They're probably all cemented down because they used to have chairs, but they were throwing those at people, so they had to not do that.
That was a fix, they thought, but it keeps them from being able to throw them at someone who's coming in with a chainsaw. He stole a drink and food from the scene before he fled, and then they were able to apprehend him.
Well, Alice has been through a lot this year. And sometimes, what I do is probably the difference between me and Alice is this. It's 3:30. We both want McDonald's. I go in with a debit card. They went in with a chainsaw. Well, we both walked out with McNuggets.
I just think that ahead of time, you need to be noticing things because they saw them all coming in. If you see someone holding a chainsaw, you just go shut that door. You go lock that door. Don't let them in. Or something needs to happen faster before he gets to the counter.
And then they're yelling through the window, there's nothing in your rules that say I can't bring this inside.
But I'm sorry, if I see anyone walking in with a chainsaw...
I'm calling corporate right now.
I'm going to go ahead and judge quickly that something needs to happen with this guy to get him out.
All right, well, they did.
And they apprehended him.
I just feel like, a kind word at the right moment could have
stopped him?
Could have kept all this. It would have been fine.
So he was charged with robbery, criminal mischief, refusing to submit to arrest, and other conditions with his release.
And revving a chainsaw at McDonald's.
The Riot. Just because it's bad doesn't mean it's not good.
Wait, isn't that exactly what it means?
It's The Riot on RadioU.
You have this big article here about how avocado protects your gut by something. And I was like, you know what? That's great. I don't care. Here's what I'm excited about.
Then you don't care about your gut.
Let's talk about avocados, though.
Sure.
I was looking for some Christmas wrapping paper, and I found some. I wanted to get some variety.
Yeah.
And I almost didn't get one, and I was like, no. This is good. It's an avocado wrapping paper. Now,
is it made from avocados, or is it the cute one that has the avocados on it?
That's what I was going to say. As many of you no doubt got excited about reused avocado skins as a way to wrap presents.
Can we use that? Is that something we should have been doing?
That's amazing. No, it's just wrapping paper from dead trees that
with avocados on
has
it.
Avocados in it, and the little avocado says "Avo Merry Christmas."
Did you get it from Target?
I don't.
You don't know?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I saw someone with that online.
Did you?
I haven't gotten it, but it was popular there. It was very cute.
You know what? Forget it. It's stupid. I hate it.
Why?
Because you've already seen it.
No.
I wanted something original and new. Is my gift going to be
wrapped in that tonight? Do I get the avocado paper?
I don't know.
Because if not, I wouldn't mind the avocado wrapping paper.
It's nice.
It is. It's cute.
I don't know. I'll have to see how much wrapping paper I have left.
I was telling Obi earlier, I found my way on Instagram to these pages for showing you what the hot stuff is at Costco.
Yeah.
And the Costco ones also usually those people run Target ones and Aldi ones.
Okay.
And Trader Joe's.
Okay.
So I think I saw it there because they just point out all the cute things in case you miss it at all the stores.
Yeah. Well.
So the wrapping paper was there.
I felt like I'd found something super clever, but now it's just mainstream and whatever.
Well, if it's at Target, yeah, I think it's made its way there. It would have been more unique if it had been made out of recycled avocado stuff.
I know. It's true. It's true. So, yeah, I'm pumped about your gift. I need to wrap it so I can bring it in tonight. But I actually think
Obi's got a present for me for tonight because we're doing our gift exchange during our Christmas party tonight.
Now, I'm probably overselling it, which you run the danger anytime you talk about a gift.
It's a physical gift.
It is a physical gift.
Item.
It is a physical gift. It's an above and beyond. I'll still get you the gift card at the agreed upon amount.
Just in case.
But
there's always something else.
There's this other thing, and I am just like,
you found something.
I got something good here.
Now, I am worried because you really are excited. So I wonder, is it going to be great?
I just think it will be. I do. I do. It's not a Blu-ray.
It's not
a video game. It's not.
I'm excited.
It's not. It's this avocado wrapping paper that I found.
That'll take it over the top. So if you haven't wrapped it and you still need to, I would like that wrapping paper.
It is the paper.
Oh, that is the gift. Surprise!
Surprise!
He spoiled it.
Dang it.
Well, you know what? I'd actually be quite happy, so it'd be fine.
Hey, you got some wrapping to do.
I already
you don't.
wrapped
You wrapped everything.
but I could use it next year when it's no longer popular.
Good call.
That would be the way it would go.
Well,
it's not. Yay! It would be from last year.
I know.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh, no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
After my biscuit steamer, I'm feeling a lot better.